All right, happy Friday, everybody. My name is Devon Glenn. I am the staff writer at Social Times, and I'm here at Mediabistro headquarters, here to celebrate Internet Week, which is going on in New York City from May 14th through 21st. And I am joined by my colleague Jason Boog, who's the editor of Mediabistro's Galley Cat and App Newser. I'm also here with Brian Ries, who's the senior social media editor for Newsweek Daily Beast. And we've also got our old friend Joe Ciarallo, the VP of Communications for Betty Media. And finally, Lance Ulanoff, who's the editor-in-chief at Mashable. So I'm very excited to see all of you today, and I would like to find out, first of all, what are you guys looking forward to seeing at Internet Week? So let's start with you, Lance.
I think they've got some great speakers. I'd love to hear more from David Karp at Tumblr. I mean, obviously they're growing. They've had a lot of big changes to the site, to their business strategy, to their leadership. So I think he'll have a lot of interesting stuff to say. I'm also fascinated by Birchbox and Haley Barna. I want to hear more about how that business is actually doing. And what sort of outreach they do to drive the brand forward. And then there's a lot of, I think there's some really good panels there, viral television and multi-platform pitching, I guess, which might also be transmedia, I'm not sure. I think it's going to be a really exciting and vibrant week of talks and panels. Hopefully a lot of new information.
Excellent. How about you, Joe?
Well, for me, I can almost dub it Facebook IPO week. All kidding aside, that's the last day of the week, so I'll be paying attention to a lot of. I'm really interested in hearing from people about that topic, and also as that applies to other social and internet startups. I think there's so many people I talk to out there who are interested in starting their own web company. So I'm interested in speaking with people about that, and where you start, how do you build a team, and then the ultimate question of how do you build revenue on the web, which is something Mediabistro talks about.
Excellent. And Brian, how about you?
Yeah, sure. I'm excited for some of the keynotes, especially with you got David Carr, Brian Stelter, you got David Karp, Vice's Shane Smith. I think the Webby sessions are also really well organized. I always enjoy seeing Jonah Peretti speak. Pete Cashmore, I've never seen him in the flesh. I've always seen him flying by my tweet deck, so that'll be fun. We've got a cool one set up for our company. So, I work in Newsweek and the Daily Beast, so we're in publishing, and the tablet world is one that we're watching closely. So, we've got, Melissa Lasky-Wall, who's our iPad editor, Daniel Blackman, Jesse Angelo at the Daily, Josh Quittner, who is the editorial director at Flipboard, Google's Andrew Madden coming by her newsstand too on Monday to talk about apps and tablets, which is really cool. And then there's that GIF panel one I'm really looking forward to with Motherboard's Sean Yeaton.
Excellent. And Jason, how about you?
Well, it kind of leads into my question that I have for everybody. The thing that I love about Internet Week, and I'm here in Los Angeles, so I won't be there for Internet Week, is the fact that I can go around and just find out about something new. Every single year I find about something that I didn't know existed. And just last week I went to a party for Digital Hollywood, which is the equivalent of Internet Week out here kind of in LA, and I met the person behind, the team behind YouTube Time Machine, which is this excellent app that just basically lets you go back in time through a timeline and find videos from your childhood. And so I'm going to actually play this. If everybody can just click the YouTube button at the top of their screen, I have a visual aid to illustrate this. You guys see that?
We sure can, Jason.
Yeah, so that's G.I. Joe, and so for me, the coolest thing is just being able to meet new people and find out about these apps I didn't know existed in the first place. So we can all unclick YouTube. And so for my question to each one of the guests is, what's the most awesome thing that you ever uncovered at Internet Week? And so maybe I'll start with Joe.
Joe, we can't hear you right now.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can.
Yes.
Oh, so okay. So it ties into Jason talking about this timeline. Last year, they had this really great exhibit that was basically the history of the personal computer. And I don't know if it's the coolest thing I've ever seen, but it was really interesting. It makes you realize how fast all of this moves when you see some of these archaic computers that are only like 10 or 15 years old. And then all the Wired, they had, tying into media, they had all the Wired magazine and all the media coverage of how all these devices were going to change our lives forever, and they were the most amazing thing ever. And then only a year or two later, right, they seem obsolete. So I hope they have some cool exhibits like that this year. I really enjoyed that one last year.
And Brian, what's the most awesome thing you ever discovered at Internet Week?
Sure. Aside from the corny and the obvious, which is just the first time I went, it opened my eyes that there's a million other people out there that kind of do what I do and work really closely with the internet. So that's always fun to meet new people. But I think the coolest was a couple years ago. I went to NYU's ITP show, which if you haven't gone to that, that's very, very cool. They combine art and technology and programming into one mess of this really, really neat showcase. But I saw this wall full of these panels that was essentially a digital drum kit. You can go up and just punch it, and it would hit a snare drum. And you can punch another one, and it was a bass drum. And so I was there just like hitting this wall with all my legs and arms and my head, and that was pretty cool. So I really enjoy those kind of like digital art showcases that tend to pop up.
Awesome. And Lance, you're a veteran. What's the best thing you've ever seen?
Well, I'm not actually a veteran of Internet Week. I haven't actually attended too many of them, to tell you the truth. So I cannot think of a particular highlight from a previous one. I wish I had something I could share, but I can't think.
That's fine.
I actually can't think of a highlight. I'd have to make up one, but I won't want to do that. I'm really looking forward to this year because it's the first year where I'm really just going to immerse myself in it.
Great. And then I'll turn this over to Devon for the next question.
Oh, yeah, you know what, I got to agree with Lance. I'm not a veteran of Internet Week either, but one thing I'm really looking forward to is I hear that there's going to be an exhibit of Instagram photography.
Yeah, Times Square.
Yeah, exactly. This is so exciting for me because I find as a journalist it's a really nice tool when you've got to make a blog post on the fly when you're at a live event. It's a really great way to capture a moment and make sure it looks print ready before you put it up. So that brings me to my next question. What are all of you bringing along with you? What kind of tools?
That's a good question.
Camera, iPhone, LiveScribe pen. You guys use the LiveScribe pen? Great for taking notes.
I've never tried that. How does that work?
It's really useful because it's basically a pen with a camera in it and writes on special paper, and it records the audio that syncs up with the words you're writing on the page. So, since you can't really type, and even on your iPad, you can't really type when you're standing there talking to people, it's just a really easy way of getting notes and then going back and getting perfect quotes out of everything you've written down.
Oh, that's great. Brian, what do you bring with you?
Probably just my iPhone and an extra battery or two because those things will be drained by 3 o'clock in the afternoon if you don't.
Oh, it's true, and there are never enough outlets.
No, there's not.
Jason, what about you? Well, you're not going, but what do you usually bring to these events?
Yeah, I actually just got a lav mic, a directional mic for my iPhone. So now when I record either video or audio, I can have the person without any of the wind interference and stuff like that. So it's been a very powerful tool for changing the way I report.
Oh, that's great. And Joe, you got any good tips for us?
Devon, for the record, did you just say you needed to make images print ready?
I did, and I thought about that for a minute, but I decided to go with it. It's sort of a vintage app anyway. Makes your like full
I know. I'm just joking around. No, that's awesome. I love Instagram. I mean, for me, it's the basics, right? I have my MacBook Air, my iPhone, right? I haven't gotten the LiveScribe pen, but I saw it in action at a bunch of conferences. So, Lance, you just reminded me that I have to buy that thing. I've heard so many great things about that.
Fantastic. And while we're here using this new technology and hoping that it works out well, do you guys have any good tips for journalists or people who are just attending on how to get the most out of the live experience in terms of tweeting and posting blog posts really quickly? Let's start with Lance. How about you?
I mean, I think they better have a game plan. Any of these events where there's a lot going on, the great thing about the Internet Week website is there's a tremendous amount of detail. So, you want to target your stuff so you can be on time, be at the right things. I mean, I think that there's going to be a lot to learn from the panels, but the keynotes are where some of these major companies, some of these big players are going to drop news. And if you're there to cover it, you want to be at the right keynotes, pick and choose. And, you know, if you're tweeting, if you're live tweeting for your audience, you know, choose wisely. Choose the great quotes. Give people a flavor, a sense of what's going on there. Don't overwhelm them with every single word people say. Absolutely.
How about you, Brian?
I got to agree with that. I think all too often people get there and they're like, I'm going to live tweet this, and they just say everything everyone's saying, and you're adding nothing to the conversation other than transcribing it for somebody else. The best thing you can do is find that key quote, but also add your own opinion. You know, add something you want to say, something you want to get out there, even a joke. I think we all appreciate seeing kind of that back channel conversation that happens, not necessarily the live transcribing that sometimes plays out.
Yeah, Joe, how about you?
Well, I think, you know, for everyone, you know, listening, I think hopefully this panel agrees is on the brand side, if you're going to live, you know, tweet or just post a bunch of content, a lot of times that comes better from your personal account versus the branded account, right? At least we find that because, you know, Mediabistro, we practice that, right? We don't. I mean, when I was there, we didn't really live tweet or just post tons of content from events because a lot of our audience wasn't at the event or frankly didn't care at the time. But giving those great recaps and sort of synthesizing and curating all the news is what makes the publisher valuable. So that's key for me. I mean, we're not going to, at Buddy Media, we're not going to be, you know, live tweeting and posting every little update, but we will focus on some of the key things around social and then get that out, you know, to people as it happens. And you know, others have said too is we're not just agreeing with everything or just being a live feed. We're putting our own commentary and our own data and opinion into that.
I love it. And Jason.
Yeah, I think I'm just going to go off of what Joe was saying, and you should tweet as you would have others tweet to you, and just don't clutter your screen. And I want to conclude with one question. What are the best parties that you're looking forward to? Maybe start with Brian.
Sure. Well, I work in the IAC building over here at Newsweek and Daily Beast headquarters, and they're having the closing party downstairs. Not invited currently, but I'm going to get in there whatever I can do. I'm just going to sneak in.
And Joe? Well, how about you, Joe?
I am so sad because the Mediabistro party and the Buddy Media party are on the same night. So I don't know.
Oh,
I have to be in two places at once. So
you're going to miss the Buddy Media party is what you're saying.
Yeah, sorry, boss. Can't make it.
And then, Lance, what are you looking forward to?
Well, I'm looking forward to attending stuff and then writing it up and probably not partying unless I know there's going to be a party where I think I'm going to get some good information. Because every once in a while you go to some of those parties and, you know, there'll be somebody from a company and they're talking and, you know, they know who you are and they just share stuff. So then, you know, if I think there's an opportunity for that, then I'll attend one. So if you think one of your parties is going to be that event, let me know.
No, I do stress parties are great. Like that's where I met the YouTube Time Machine people. The team was just there and we just started chatting about our project. So it was great. And I'm going to turn it over to Devon.
Yes, I'm getting all dressed up here using these interesting tools that Google Hangouts On Air has to let you guys know about our party coming up. That is going to be on Tuesday. It's at Chelsea Manor, and it is from 6:30 to 8:30. We will have drinks. We will have appetizers. And I'm going to share my screen with you if I can, so you can kind of see that invitation.
I can't get a funny hat, so I'm just going to hold a shark.
Yeah, that's, oh, excellent. We've got an astronaut and a pirate.
Actually, I like this hat better.
Good party, you guys.
Whoa.
Yeah, I don't know if you can see that.
I will go to any party where I can wear this hat.
Nice, Lance.
Joe's not dressed. Joe, get dressed. What's going on?
I don't know. I'm having some technical difficulties right now. Sorry. I'm being lame.
All right, so that's the lesson learned. Well, anyway, you can look forward to our party on May 15th. Internet Week is going on all that week. So I want to thank you all very much for joining us today.
Thank you.
And once again, we've got Jason Boog from Mediabistro's Gallicat, Brian Ries from Newsweek Daily Beast, Joe Ciarallo from Buddy Media, and Lance Ulanoff from Mashable. So thank you all for attending.
Thanks, Devon.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks.
Bye.
See you around.
Bye.
Woo!